Yeah. And we're far enough away that we can move in closer, so you might even do
4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Bridge nav. $30 bearing 045. Thank you. Whoa.
Do we have any interest in any of these little sponges?
Not that I can tell. I was just looking it up. I don't think so.
All right. Oh, we'll get some zooms for ID while we wait for the ship move. All right, Aaron. All right, not a sponge. Oh, so that's a tether tug.
That's what?
That was a tether tug. You can watch everything. So why don't we come down a little bit more. All right, Aaron, full line.
Yeah, so that was a nice little tunicate there that we zoomed in on. Not on a stalk this time, like most of the ones we've been seeing.
Yeah, I wonder if none of them are sponges. That one's a sponge. All right, video, let's push in.
So is that a stalked sponge or a sponge growing on someone else's stalk?
That I couldn't tell.
Good question. I was thinking that it's not a stalk sponge. It's
Little tether tug. All right, full wide. I feel like Argus ended up swinging back a little bit,
Right.
but
Could be the current,
yeah, current shift.
right? Because it looks a bit farther back from the ship than it has been.
Yeah, it seems to be very common around here. The Acanella.
Yeah, I'm at 15 or 16.
Yeah, let's hold there. Well, we won't go down anymore.
Okay.
Actually, I would probably come up back to 20.
It's nice.
Okay.
Just because of the heaves that you're doing, you don't want to end up getting your tether on top of you.
Got it.
After
All
this
right,
4
Aaron,
or
let's
5, I might
push in.
just bump. We'll finish the watch. I'll bump Argus closer to Herc so that we hand over in a good manner.
We have another question from a viewer.
Full wide.
They stated there seems to be a lot more silt on the bottom than at Howland and Baker Island dives.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is that?
Different locations.
Yeah, those were in the middle of the remote Pacific.
Yeah, those were pretty much abyssal plain all around them. In some areas up to 5,800 meters deep. You're the one doing the mapping, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Abyssal plain, yeah.
those were just kind of like these little hot spots of life.
Yeah, whereas this has an entire coast of California ejecting material and providing a lot of...
Yeah, we have...
crinoid just lifted off.
Look at the nice crinoid moving around. But when you have a lot of coastal, like San Francisco Bay, we'll kick up a lot of sediment.
Look at it move.
Russian River is pretty close to here. Tamales Bay. Walala River. Walala.
Yeah, I think current's taking Argus farther back.
Yeah, we need to do that step forward because
Yep.
Salmon Creek,
full wide.
Garcia River up north.
Because I'm getting pulled off the wall at this point.
All right, I'm gonna go
All of those rivers, bays,
30.
estuaries
Let's do it.
kick out a
3315.
lot of sediment.
30,
20?
20. Bridge now. One step 20 meters, bearing 315.
So we're just going to move you that way.
Thank you. What is that shadow? There it is.
Yeah, because actually when this all started, I was able at least to get into that to zoom.
Yeah, well that 45 ended up being much more 90 because of the current. So, and you kind of stayed there though. We should get further along.
Moving.
Do you have a sensor measuring the current? So you just
No.
have to kind of feel it out.
Yeah, for me down here. And well, part of it is how far Argus is behind the ship, you know, because we've been going this way, but Argus is south of the ship, so there's obviously a current pushing you.
Got it.
So Mike's doing his check on the winch. Got 4 beams right now. Got all the beams. Oh.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a little quick break on the back row and change out some personnel. Next shift is here.
Please be patient as we transition for our new watch members. It's been a pleasure. See you guys tomorrow morning.
I'm going to switch, Greg, so you have no video.
Testing.
All right, good morning, everybody who's just tuning in or has been following along. This is the 12 to 4 shift. We have just transitioned with the previous shift, so we've been a little bit quiet, but we're back now. And we are currently just off the coast of Northern California, the Cordell National Marine Sanctuary, Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary. Diving at Box Canyon, and yes, we will introduce ourselves here in a little bit. Our current depth is 5,727 feet, and it is 36.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
Everybody good? Getting there?
Yep.
Science is ready.
Alright, the word I have is try and stick to steep stuff. If we end up on something that's flat or plateaus out, we should move up or down to try and find a wall. Sound good?
That's
Sounds
right.
good.
Roger.
We're headed towards 2F up here. Did I hear they just made this move to bring Argus back into the wall? This last kind of 315 move.
Yeah.
But maybe we could start creeping over this way to try and stay on this.
Yep.
I like the way that looks.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so Jess, you guys just try and do it when we're doing the moves, just take an extra second and just see where we think it's going to put Argus.
Yep. Sure thing. Data, when you have a minute, can you tell me how many Niskins are left and how many boxes are left?
So there's a noise just started out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We have
Sounds
two
like fire
Niskins
pump
left.
noise.
Some fan,
Okay.
blower.
All right, so I'm looking at 072, 071 maybe.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah,
Try it out.
sounds good. All right, bridge nav. Can we get a 20-meter step bearing 071?
Caitlin, can you hear me?
Yes, Jan, go ahead.
Yeah, on deck at 8.
Okay, thank you.
Renee said the USBL has been a bit better. Not perfect. Roger.
Gonna zoom in there, video.
That is a stocked tunicate.
Interesting.
It's really interesting. You can see its insides. There's a British star on it, but also it's translucent. You can see inside it.
Okay, come wide.
Bridge nav. Another step, please. Sounds good.
And go ahead, zoom in there.
Lovely. That's a bamboo coral. I believe, so we've collected ones that have looked like this to confirm the actual taxonomy, but I believe this type is called a canella.
Okay, full wide. All right, give us, on the next move, Aaron, give us a, just, maybe 20 meters into the wall.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, can I steal your bubble for a moment?
Yep.
Hey everyone, is this a good time to introduce ourselves? My name is Dave. I'm the Science Communication Fellow, and I come from the Pennington Marine Science Center on Catalina Island. And maybe just to spice things up, we can say what our favorite chocolate is that we like to eat. So I'm going to go with Toblerone to start it off, and I'm going to pass a jar of peanut M&Ms.
Thank you. You took mine. I love Toblerone. My name's Ashley. I'm the video engineer intern. This is my first night watch on the Nautilus. I guess I like Bueno.
Ooh.
Passing the M&Ms on.
You zoom in there, video.
Hi, I'm Jess Sandoval. I'm sitting in Argus currently. And favorite chocolate? This is a hard one, actually. I would say sea salt, one of the dark chocolate sea salt.
That is a good one.
Thank you for the chocolate.
That's a good one. Michael Hannaford in the Herc seat. What is it? Toby's Chocolaroni, I think it's called.
Toby's Chocoroni.
Is that a real
This
thing?
is dark chocolate and almond, but it's delicious. Yeah, they
Ooh.
have them in Astoria and perhaps elsewhere.
Mike, would you like some?
Nah, I'm good for now. I'll send it down.
Okay.
Zoom out there, video.
Aaron Heffron. I'm sitting nav seats. Favorite chocolates? These peanut M&Ms because they're here. And probably peanut butter cups. I like peanut butter cups. And I'm gonna put in a move and then I will bring that back to you.
Awesome, thank you.
So we're gonna go about 315. Does that feel good? Into the wall?
We
Yeah,
can do it angled in,
yeah, angle in at
like 030 or 015.
Okay.
yeah, do that at 20 meters.
Bridge nav. Can we get a 20-meter step bearing 030?
Science row in the back. This is Caitlin Grafe. I'm with the Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary. My favorite chocolate, I'm with Aaron. I will do anything paired with peanut butter.
Sage Tezak with Greater Fairlands National Marine Sanctuary, and I'm going to say anything dark chocolate, 70% or more.
And I'm going to go with Sage in this one. I'm Mugda Flores. I'm the data logger on this watch. And yes, any dark chocolate, that's my favorite.
This is right under there. I'll keep it up here.
So, science team, do you want to tell our viewers what we're doing here?
Sure. So, we are in the Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary in an area off the continental slope due west of a feature called Cordell Bank. And we're in a canyon that we are calling a box canyon. And do not ask me why it's named Box Canyon.
Here.
What's
But
Instead, it looks like I'm giving you a fight here.
otherwise,
yeah, we're really too far off there.
this area of the seafloor in the sanctuary has never been seen before. And we have the deep water capabilities to get here with the Hercules ROV.
Still want me to angle it in
So-
030 or a little more north?
A little more
you're
north.
facing away with Argus.
Our goals for the expedition or for this dive are to
I think you can do a little more north there.
characterize the
Hold on,
seafloor
what's the wall? Is that?
habitat types.
It's hard to tell. These contours are
Yeah.
not real, but I mean the wall is there.
So I'm at it now at 270. It's like normal too.
And we'll be making
That's
collections
just because I'm turned around.
Huh? No,
mostly
like
of
my
corals and
heading,
sponges.
not north.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just spin around till you're normal to that. See
Yeah.
exactly what it is, Jess.
Yeah, I just trying right now, but this doesn't have enough play in it.
All right, back row. Just give us a second to get. We're a little bit too far off the wall with Argus here.
Okay.
Get ourselves oriented.
There you go.
Coming. Yeah, so that's like 270, right? 280 or something.
270, 280.
Yeah, give us 20 meters ahead on that.
Okay. All right, just 20 meters, 280. Bridge nav.
I'm gonna push back into that and might turn you around again.
Can I have a 20 meter step bearing 280?
We have a viewer named Jason who actually, interesting enough, doesn't like chocolate. Jason, you're going to make somebody very, very happy because they're going to get all the chocolate in the relationship. So good show.
How many people do we have tuning in at these early hours?
Ooh, that is a good question. Let's see.
"24 knots of wind."
Oh, we just got 50.
Excellent. We aren't the only ones watching.
We are not. There's 32 in the United States, 4 in the United Kingdom, and 3 in Germany. Those are our top 3. So thanks for watching us, you 3 in Germany.
Looks like they're struggling a bit. Let's try another move in.
Yeah, so the wind is up, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if a little heading change will help at all. Bridge nav. Are you struggling to make that bearing? Okay. If you need to try and change the heading a little bit, and then. Okay, great. We'll stand by. Thanks. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship needs a minute.
These large white, are they sea stars?
Yes.
The large white ones, do we know what type?
I don't know what type they are. They have a similar body structure to a group of sea stars that are commonly known as blood stars, and those are usually red and orange in shallower ecosystems, but these white ones, I don't know. I would really tentatively call them Henricea, which is the genus of blood stars, but there are so many different types of sea stars that it's really quite tricky to know who's who.
Yeah.
So it looks like this rock face has crumbled at some time. It's a lot of jagged pieces.
Yeah, it's quite different than when we left watch, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, that was all smooth hard rock. Do Do you feel like this is a steeper slope as well?
Yeah, it is. It looks a bit steeper. Mike, I'm still trying to fight the heading to get over to see you.
Yeah. Come back towards you. Maybe we can just go down slope a bit.
Sure.
So we can stay on.
Alright, they're finishing up that move, so you want to try and bring it back down?
Get us oriented. I'll come over to Argus and get us oriented and we'll figure it out. I want to get Argus turned back around.
Okay.
Face the hill.
Stand by.
That was a little grenadier that just passed by in the top of the frame.
That terrain.
I missed it.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa. It's beautiful.
Wow. Which is so interesting. There's really nothing growing on this rock.
It just looks like a steep rock wall.
There.
There's a few bamboo corals.
Zoom in there, video.
It looks like this one has a small, it's blending in with the polyps, but it looks like it has an anemone growing on it towards the bottom.
Is that something else there on top, or is that
the brown?
Yeah.
It is something. I'm not sure what it is. Could be some hydroids, or I often characterize that as just brown fuzz, a very technical term.
Is that really red a shrimp down there?
Yeah.
So bright.
Okay, full wide, please.
Oh, you can see brittle stars with that zoom.
So Jess and Mike, we have a viewer who's asking what happens in the event of a catastrophic untether. What happens to Argus and Hercules? Are we able to recover them?
If the tether gets severed?
Yes.
Yeah, so Argus could still come up on the winch if in the unlikely event that the tether is compromised. Then Hercules has a foam pack on top which allows it to float, so it will be able to float up eventually to the surface, given that it's currently positively buoyant. Yeah, so it would just take a while for the vehicle to surface, and ideally we would be able to recover it.
Cool.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Or rock wall.
Very difficult to actually sever that tether. It's pretty rugged stuff.
Yeah.
And I understand that foam pack that that Jess was mentioning, it's actually made out of glass beads.
Yeah. It's engineered for the depth that we're working at, so it has working depths that it's rated to. And the glass is less compressible than air. So if you think of regular foam or styrofoam that has air pockets in it, this one instead has beads. Air would compress a lot quicker and a lot shallower depths.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right, let's do a move.
Yeah. 060, you think?
Yeah.
060.
Sounds good.
Sounds decent.
Contour changes so fast.
Yeah. After that, we'll probably have to kick it out. Like.
Don't know what's real other than that. All right, 060. Bridge nav. Can we have a 20-meter step bearing 060?
Science, do we know what this this wall is made out of, this substrate?
I was wondering the same thing. I don't know, and it's so curious that it has like these small little holes in it. Did you notice that too? It looked like someone took a pin and just poked it.
So are we thinking maybe it's made out of Swiss cheese?
Do we remember what guy told us it was? Was it
yesterday? He said bedrock.
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 Yesterday, I guess that was still today. Minus the sleep.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday because it's past midnight.
Right? There you go.
Go ahead and zoom in there, video.
One lone little coral. So this is a primnoid coral, which is a group of corals. And this one in particular, its genus is Caligorgia. And it's interesting, this type of coral usually has these brittle stars associated with it. They always find each other.
It's a love story then.
Yeah, they're always hugging. But it's interesting that yellow at the base. I don't know what that is. Could be just the coral's base.
Look at
Oh, those squiggles?
yeah, just little things sticking up out of the sediment.
There's some worm tubes.
Yeah. Okay, full wide.
Oh, there's a different kind of star. What's that one with the with 8 arms?
So that type of star is called a brisingid, and that one has a little bit different morphology. There's 2 morphologies I've seen of brisingids. That one has a smaller, like, central disc, and the other type that we see have many arms and are
It's a bit better.
a little more robust looking. They're really quite beautiful.
Is the wind down again?
It's up between 18 and 20 knots. It's pushing against us, coming from the northwest.
And are these brisingid stars, are they related to sun stars?
I don't believe they're in the same family. I can check for you. They have their own order, Brisingidae.
No, keep this one.
So
Sounds
they're actually
bridge nav.
different
Have another
than
step, same bearing, please.
than other stars.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Somebody out there wants to know what kind of tree you would be. I don't know if you want to tackle that.
Kind of tree. It's not even 2 a.m. yet.
I know.
Yes, save the weird questions.
I'm going to go with the redwood tree.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else want to share what kind of tree they would be? I might be
an ash tree.
an ash tree.
Why an ash tree? For Ashley.
That's great.
Got it.
Drop down a bit,
Yeah.
Jess. Sniff around down here.
Let me face you a bit more then, instead of keeping the bearing.
Caitlin, I'm so curious about, because we're on a south-facing wall, right? And you, when we plan these
A little off the
areas, you were looking north-facing
perpendicular
walls.
strike.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if we were on a north-facing wall, it would be
More animals.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. This is helpful, even though we're not seeing many organisms. This is helpful to kind of piece that puzzle together if orientation of the canyon walls does influence the abundance
Like 10-meter heaves
of
here.
corals and sponges.
Do you think it could have something to do with the current or
Currents,
food?
yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. So in this region, we primarily have a northwest flowing current with significant food delivery from that direction, given that north of us in Point Arena is a major upwelling area. So as that finds its way down here into Cordell Bank, I would imagine that walls with a northwest aspect
Flying sideways.
would have more animals on them.
Yeah.
Oh, scratch the belly. Scratch the
Oh,
belly.
Wow, the
Oh,
spin
yeah.
move.
Oh,
Nice show.
Zoom in a little. It's good.
Do it again, do it again.
Do it again.
Oh, that's
Here you go.
So this is
so
a
it's like
I'm
a
looking
slow
for a belly
motion.
shot here. Come on, fish.
this is a Pacific
Too much
flatnose.
pressure.
Oh,
That's a great
you're a
shot.
strange creature.
Beautiful.
oh, there we go.
Well executed.
I think I got enough like still images like we could put it together and make like a stop motion.
Nice.
Cool.
He was being fancy.
Was that another
Careful, what?
deer?
Pacific flatnose.
Okay.
So you can tell the difference between those and the grenadiers. The grenadiers have like a continuous tail that looks like, well, they're called rat tails. And that fish had,
More fins. Okay.
You still think this heading's good or bearing?
It looks like it's all right on the sonar.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll keep that for a bit.
Alrighty. Bridge nav. Can I have another step, please? Same bearing.
Have any of you guys ever heard of a snake star? Somebody's asking about our snake stars, basket stars. I've never heard that term.
they might mean serpent star. Would that, is a serpent a snake? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the previous watch, I know they mentioned serpent stars.
Right. So when we looked at that last coral, the Caligorgia, and I said it always has a brittle star on it, that was actually a type of serpent star.
Oh.
So yeah. People are paying attention. That's good.
Zoom in there, video.
So this is really neat. This is a black coral. It's well known for this area. It's called Bathypathes patula. And if you can do a good zoom on the base, you can actually see it has a black base. And really get the sense of why they're called black corals. If you removed all those pink polyps, its skeleton is black.
The polyps on these are really long. It reminds me of what are those things you wrap around your neck?
Scarf?
Like a scar, a boa,
A feather boa.
feather
Yeah.
boa.
Oh.
Do these get pretty large?
This is about a typical size.
Okay.
Hmm.
So not much larger than this. They're really beautiful. We collected quite a few of these in 2017 off of the Nautilus, so that's why we feel really confident
Okay,
about
full wide.
knowing what species it is. But I have my eyes out for a similar looking individual that is more, it's a black coral that looks like that, however it's tapered at the tip and really looks like a feather. That one I'd love to find.
Shiny thing down there.
Hmm.
And that's a rat tail going by right now, is that right?
Correct, a grenadier. Mm-hmm.
Quick zoom in there, video. Is it just a shell?
How did it get down there?
Okay, that's good. Full wide. Come back up.
Roger.
Good to keep trucking.
Yep.
Yep.
Bridge nav. Another step, please. Same bearing. This is steep, but the life isn't great. Do you want us to make any changes?
Well, I'm liking the geology, but you're right, there's not much life. I think it's just us keep trucking along and looking for it. We could, depending on how the ship and Herc movements are going, we could maybe pick up our pace.
Sure.
And
work on that after we see the pretty purple thing.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We still didn't figure out what this is. We keep seeing them.
There's a lot of them, but they're very
I
cool.
think these were ctenophores, right?
Wow. The cilia. I meant to bring up that pelagic identification, but
It's ready for Valentine's Day, that one.
Aaron, do you mind zooming out on HYPACK briefly so I can see?
Sure. We're about 30 meters off at 2F.
Okay.
And things just are a bit steep and surprising, so that's kind of why we're stepping it.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that far enough out? You need more perspective?
Well, maybe you can tell me. Does the contour kind of hook around like a U shape eventually?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
we get to 2F, and then there's going to be this really tight band in here, and then I think it swings around. We can zoom out a bit more.
So that may change things up for us in terms of seeing more animals.
So it looks like we'll have some really, really tight wall all the way over to 2G.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Aaron, how did you know that? Are you psychic, or do you have some kind of instrument over there that tells you what things look like?
Can you see the HYPACK screen anywhere? Maybe not. We use HYPACK to navigate. Hold on, I'm just going to put in another move. Bridge nav. Another step, please, same bearing. So yeah, there's this screen that has our base maps based on our bathymetry, or what might be Okeanos bathymetry, I'm not sure. And then some contours, and we use that to try and figure out where to go. And then also we look at the sonar that's on Argus and Herc to see what they're seeing in real life.
Okay, I think actually I see that. That's the screen like right above you. Got it.
Up
I see
above my
that.
head, that's the,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the sonar for them. And then, yeah, I guess you probably don't have a high pack display anywhere.
I don't think so. I have a lot of buttons. I can push them though.
You have the internets though.
That's right.
I get high pack, you get the internet.
I wonder if that's the lead around there, end of that contour.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to turn, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's aligning pretty well with what we see on the map. I'm just gonna keep the steps going if you guys are feeling good. Okay, keep the pace. We have a pretty good speed, 0.3 to 0.4 knots.
You might want to do a 0.75.
0.75?
I think so, as it comes around the bend here.
Okay, I can buy that. Bridge and F. Can we have a 20-meter step bearing 0.75? Thank you.
Thanks, Erin.
No worries.
So it seems like the grenadier is the #1 fish we see, and I've sort of been, I'm a fan of rockfish. Is there, do you know why we don't see any rockfish? Is it just too deep down here, or?
Yeah, you're right. It is too deep for rockfish. We will start to see rockfish tomorrow when we dive in the Greater Fairland Sanctuary. Well, rockfish are everywhere. I should say we'll be at the proper depths for rockfish tomorrow. They start to appear around 900 meters, and it's primarily a type of rockfish that are called thorny heads.
Ooh.
And so there's only two types of thorny heads, short spine and long spine thorny heads. And so they're the deepest of the rockfish. And as we get shallower, rockfish species are really depth specific. And so we'll see more types as we get shallower than 700 meters. So these are where we are right now is just way beyond the depths of their ranges.
Oh, thanks.
But I wish I knew. Sage, do you know how many
beginner question
types of rockfish there are?
Is this heading oriented, so north is your heading?
It's oriented to north of a heading here. So as I rotate around,
like how many
the
are found?
north on there was true to Argus, where Argus is pointed.
Like management plan stuff.
Yeah, it's just where we're pointing, that north, that way that east, the compass points up there don't mean anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, right now they do.
Bridge nav. Another step, please, same bearing.
Well, zoom in there, video.
It's like something you'd find in a management plan. It's a lot, like at least 30 to 40.
There's two of them.
That's a crinoid. This rock is so interesting. It's got so many holes. Porous, yeah. Oh, sablefish? Yeah.
Okay, come wide. And zoom in there.
There's a bamboo coral. They all seem to have this morphology, so I'm thinking that we just have the one type of bamboo coral in this area, which they collected on the previous watch. So they'll bring that sample to the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco and have it identified by an expert, coral expert. And once we get that positive